Hello, everyone. Our presentation today is on combating bias in artificial intelligence. Our group chose this topic because AI systems are shaping critical decisions in areas like hiring, healthcare, and finance. And when these systems are biased, the impact can be harmful and widespread. Today, we'll walk through the problem, the metrics we used, our analysis, proposed solutions, and how ethical values play a role in ensuring fairness in AI. The problem. So, the main issue we're addressing is the harmful bias embedded within artificial intelligence systems. These biases often mirror and amplify existing social inequalities. For example, hiring algorithms might favor men over women, or risk assessment tools might unfairly rate minorities as higher risk. The lack of fairness reduces public trust and limits AI's potential to truly benefit society. Our goal is to identify what causes these biases and explore practical solutions to reduce them.
So for metrics, we actually use, to measure bias, we use two metrics, the data imbalance ratio and the bias migration score. The data imbalance ratio, or DIR, measures how well a data set represents different groups. For instance, if women make up 50% of a population, but only 10% of the training data, the DIR is zero point 0.2, which shows significant underrepresentation. The bias migration score helps us track how effectively we reduce bias after applying fairness techniques. Together, these metrics allow us to see whether our mitigation efforts are actually working. For analysis, our analysis showed that bias usually begins with the data. When data sets reflect historic discrimination, the AI models trained on them learn to reproduce that same bias. Another issue is that many algorithms are black boxes, meaning we don't know exactly how they make decisions. Without transparency, it's hard to identify or fix the problem. We created a causal loop model showing how biased input data produces biased output, which then reinforces future training data, creating a self reinforcing bias cycle.
On this slide, we focus on practical ways to reduce bias in artificial intelligence. The first step is balanced data collection, making sure the data sets used to train AI systems represent all groups fairly, not just the majority. When the data is inclusive, the output becomes more accurate and equitable. Next, we emphasize the algorithm transparency, meaning AI developers must clearly show how decisions are made. This builds accountability and helps others detect hidden biases. Fairness audits are another key part of these, which are regular reviews that test whether an algorithm treats groups differently. Then we have the adversarial training methods, which teach AI to recognize and correct its own bias patterns. Finally, continuous monitoring ensures that once a system is fixed, it stays fair over time. These combined steps make makes fairness a process and not just a goal. This slide ties everything together with the ethical foundation behind our solutions. The core value driving this work is justice and equality, ensuring that technology serves everyone, not just certain groups. Transparency is another virtue. It helps build trust between developers, users, and the public. When people understand how AI makes decisions, they're more willing to use it responsibly. We also emphasize stewardship of technology, meaning we have a moral duty to use AI wisely and ethically. Finally, the love thy neighbor ethic reminds us that the fairness in AI isn't just technical, it's human. It's about empathy and respect in every line of code. In the end, fair AI isn't just about smarter systems, it's about creating a more compassionate and just society.
So our research shows that there is data that confirms that the bias is real and measurable. For example, facial recognition systems show 34.7% error rate for darker skinned women compared to just 0.8 for lighter skinned men. And hiring algorithm surveys show 65% of women perceive AI driven decisions as unfair compared to only 15% of men. These disparities highlight why bias mitigation is not optional. It's essential to build trust and equality into AI systems. And in conclusion, AI bias is not just a technical issue, it's actually a reflection of our society. If we feed AI bias data, it will amplify those same biases. Our mission should be to develop systems that are transparent, fair, and ethical. As future professionals and citizens, we must advocate for responsible AI development that serves everyone equally. Thank you for your time.
These are the main sources that we use to support our research, including studies by Buolamwini and Graeber on gender bias in facial recognition, Farrar's work on fairness and bias in AI, and Resnick's recent paper on large language model bias. Together, these works provide a foundation for understanding how bias develops and how we can mitigate it.